Hi, and welcome to this month's Council Update. My name is Councilmember Justin Olson, and with me today is Cottage Grove Police Department Sergeant Nils Torning. How are you today, Nils?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Good. Thanks for being here. We're here today to talk a little bit about our city's pet ordinances. And the reason I've invited Nils to join us today is because he is actually our top cop as it relates to anything having to do with pet ordinances, leash laws, etc. He is also, by the way, in charge of our CSO division, which is our Community Service Officer division. So Nils, what can you tell us about some of the primary issues that you and your team run into on a daily, weekly, monthly basis with respect to the pet ordinances in the city of Cottage Grove?
Well, I think the biggest thing that we oftentimes run into with our citizens and within our city is the animals running at large. So we'll end up with dogs that are loose, have gotten out of their yards, or were being walked without a leash and got away. And we spend a lot of time and effort trying to reunite those animals with their owners.
Now, I myself am a dog person. We have two wonderful Italian Greyhounds at home, but I know that many of our people at home today watching this have all sorts of different pets. So is there any kind of a hierarchy of the pets that you seem to find wandering around the city that we need to reunite with owners? Is it mostly dogs? Is it mostly cats? Or is it kind of everything?
So it's primarily dogs is what we run into for the most part. We occasionally do deal with cats, and we will handle and assist with reuniting cats as long as they're a domesticated cat. We're unable to handle them and assist with them if it is a feral cat or caught with the use of a trap.
So when we do encounter these animals and they're on the loose, what's the procedure or the process that you and your team have to follow in hopes of reuniting that pet with their owner?
So generally what we'll do is if the animal is called in as being at large, we'll make attempts to capture that animal. Or if somebody has captured an animal, we'll respond and pick that animal up. From there, we bring the animal back to the police department, and we'll hold that animal at the police department generally for a reasonable period of time. During that, we check to see if the animal is microchipped, to see if we can locate an owner as long as their microchip information is current. And we'll also oftentimes post the animal on social media as long as we have the resources available to do so.
And then if we don't have that animal claimed, what happens next?
So if we're unable to reunite the animal with its owner, what we'll do is we'll bring the animal up to Woodbury Humane Society that we have a contract with, and the animal will be housed there, and they'll make further attempts to locate the owner, and if they're unable to, they'll eventually adopt the animal back out.
Gotcha. Now, when we got our two pets, I recall very specifically that the vet told us, make sure you microchip your pets.
Yep.
How do you check that microchip? Do you have some kind of a tool or something that does that?
So we do. We have a tool at the police department that can actually scan for that microchip. So it's definitely beneficial to have your pet microchipped. And with that, we also do have a city license for domesticated animals, dogs and cats, that's required once the dog or cat is 6 months of age. And with that, we provide a tag that provides us with owner information as well. So if that animal is located wearing that tag, we can reunite that animal.
A tag that they would wear on their collar, for example.
Correct.
Okay. So understanding that the city, just like every other city in the state, has specific ordinances related to pets, what are some of the primary ordinances that people need to be aware of with respect to their domesticated pets?
I think the main thing is just keeping containment of your animal. So either having it in a yard with a fence or an electric fence or some type of security features like that. And when you have your animal out in public, keeping that animal leashed.
Now, of course, we love our dogs and we like to go for walks, and we're very lucky in the city of Cottage Grove. We have a just outstanding park system here, so there's a lot of trails that we can walk on. Every once in a while, we will encounter an owner who is walking a pet who may not necessarily be prepared to clean up after that pet. So what does the ordinance in the city say about something like that?
So, I mean, it's always the best courtesy to take care of your own animals. So if you're walking using our park systems or trail systems, you don't want to litter or leave any waste behind. So definitely make efforts to bring bags and be prepared to pick up after your animals.
So I guess to recap real briefly, if you're going to be a pet owner, it's important to be a responsible pet owner. And that might include microchipping your pet, which we've done with ours, licensing that pet in the city, which is a requirement based on city ordinance, and then you will give them a tag that pet can wear on a collar, for example, so that God forbid the pet should get loose at some point, we have an opportunity to identify the owner and reunite the pet with the family or the owner as quickly as possible. If I had any questions as a resident about some of these pet ordinances, what should I do? Who should I contact?
So what you can do is you can go to the City of Cottage Grove website, cottagegrovemn.gov, and on there's a link towards the bottom for the city code ordinances. And you
Okay.
can look it all up right there.
Great. Thanks again.
Yeah,
Nice
absolutely.
having you. All
Thanks
right.
for having me.
And for this month's council update, I'm Councilmember Justin Olson. Thanks for watching.